In international business, the operating instructions change the moment a shipment crosses a border checkpoint. The laws governing what you can sell, how you can tax it, and who you can do business with shift instantly. Modern markets are hyper-fragmented. Overlapping regulatory zones dictate strict local data protection acts, and contradictory compliance mandates clash across national lines. This friction is most visible in frontier economies. Here, legal frameworks and economic protocols shift rapidly, rewriting the requirements for market entry without warning. The true test of an enterprise strategy isn't how it works in a sterile boardroom. It's how it survives the hyper-fragmented, messy realities of international markets. To manage this complexity, corporations often deploy a single centralized AI monolith, typically trained entirely on Western data, across all their global markets. But a centralized public model behaves like a tourist. It tries to force a generic external template onto environments it doesn't actually understand. When an intelligent system lacks context for local corporate mechanics or cultural nuances, operational failures follow. It blocks routine customer onboarding, triggers regulatory breaches, and generates tone-deaf interactions that alienate users. There is a requirement for an intelligence architecture that respects local jurisdiction and culture natively. The system must adapt to rules on the ground before a decision is ever made. Without this native adaptation, global expansion creates unmanageable legal liabilities that outweigh the potential revenue. This illustrates the Bring Your Own AI, or BYOAI, operating system. A singular global brain deploys customized regional nodes. A location-aware policy engine intercepts every AI decision as a strict gateway, autonomously querying local data residency laws, AML triggers, and consent requirements. For a customer in California, this workflow might only require basic ID verification and standard risk scoring before the system permits an action. Simultaneously, that same core brain processes a user in Nairobi or Brussels. Because of the policy engine, the system automatically enforces enhanced due diligence, demands extra documentation, and applies strict transaction limits to match local law. This architecture ensures regulatory alignment natively. It removes the need for manual legal teams to track every individual transaction. Avoiding lawsuits is only the first step. For a system to be used, it must be culturally accepted by the people in that market. Handled by the persona layer, the core intelligence fractures into distinct behavioral profiles based on geography. One core intelligence powers many distinct local personas. A single onboarding directive from headquarters translates into different linguistic and tonal structures depending on the specific user's location. The AI adapts its level of formality and shifts its product framing to meet precise regional expectations. The user interacts with a system that feels like a native participant, while the underlying global brand and corporate risk posture remain intact. This architecture enables compliance by construction. Legal and cultural adherence are compiled directly into the operating system, rather than added as an afterthought. This transforms compliance from a defensive cost center into a high-velocity competitive advantage. When an intelligent system adapts to local realities in real time, an enterprise can move faster and scale while others are slowed by manual review. This speed is what makes digital financial inclusion viable. By automating localized KYC and risk thresholds, institutions can finally reach users in frontier markets where the high overhead of manual compliance previously made services too expensive to offer. Legally aware intelligence allows institutions to expand globally without exporting their blind spots or importing new regulatory risks. The enterprise ceases to operate as a foreign entity trying to force an external template. It becomes a native participant in every market it touches. This is achieved by linking a proprietary data foundation with domain-specific edge notes and location-aware compliance. Strategies focused on piloting isolated generic AI tools are no longer sufficient for managing this level of global complexity. Building a custom AI OS provides the foundational platform required to scale across these borders. Stop piloting tools. Start building your AI OS.